Hello friends, welcome to my absolutely fabulous guide to Providence, Rhode Island, or as I like to call it, the Jewel of New England. Now, I know what you're thinking, Providence. Isn't that where they invented those ghastly clam chowder fountains? Well, darling, put those thoughts right out of your head. Providence is simply divine, a charming city, brimming with history, culture, and enough culinary delights to make your head spin. Over the next few days, I'm going to be your virtual tour guide, whisking you away on a whirlwind adventure through the very best this city has to offer. We'll be delving into cobbled streets, marveling at architectural wonders, and of course, indulging in a spot of retail therapy. Because what would a trip be without a little something special to remember it by? So, pour yourself a large G&T, make mine a double, sit back, relax, and prepare to be absolutely dazzled. Providence, my friends, is ready for its close-up. Now, are you ready for a simply fabulous adventure? Of course you are. Let's get this show on the road. First on our whirlwind tour, my friends, is an experience so utterly unique, so breathtakingly beautiful, it'll leave you simply stunned. I'm talking, of course, about WaterFire Providence. Imagine, if you will, a crisp autumn evening. The sun has set, casting an ethereal glow over the city, and you find yourself strolling along the Providence River. Suddenly, you hear the crackle of flames, and a warm, inviting light dances across the water. You've arrived at WaterFire, a multi-sensory spectacle that's as captivating as it is unforgettable. Bonfires, ablaze in their braziers, illuminate the river, casting flickering shadows that dance and sway to the rhythm of the flames. The air is alive with the scent of burning wood, and the sounds of live music, ethereal and haunting, fill the night. Fire performers twirl and spin, their movements as fluid and mesmerizing as the flames themselves. It's an experience that speaks to the very soul, darling, a celebration of light and heat, and the sheer magic of being alive. Whether you're strolling hand in hand with your beloved, catching up with friends, or simply soaking up the atmosphere, WaterFire is an absolute must-do. Trust me, you won't want to miss this. After the fiery spectacle of WaterFire, you might be craving tranquility. Our next stop is just the ticket. Tucked away in the heart of the city lies Roger Williams Park. Imagine a sprawling park, 435 acres of pure bliss. Stroll beneath ancient trees and breathe in the sweet scent of nature. It's enough to make you forget you're in the middle of a bustling city. Roger Williams Park is also home to a treasure trove of attractions. Visit the historic Victorian Carousel, explore the Museum of Natural History, or marvel at the exotic creatures at the Roger Williams Park Zoo. Don't miss the Japanese Garden, a haven of peace and tranquility. It's the perfect place to escape the city's hustle and bustle. Just don't forget your camera. If you adore art as much as I adore a chilled Stagumber cocktail on a Tuesday afternoon, then you simply must flit over to the RISD Museum. It's an absolute treasure trove of creativity. You know, the kind that makes you want to don a beret and start sketching on napkins. Over 100,000 pieces, from ancient times to modern masterpieces, all housed in this glorious building. One minute you're gazing at a Greek vase that could tell 1,000 tales, and the next you're face to face with a Warhol that just screams pop culture chic. Don't even get me started on their collection of European paintings. Absolutely divine. And the contemporary design section? Well, let's just say it's enough to make Philippe Starck green with envy. But listen closely. Be sure to check out their rotating exhibits. They always manage to snag the most exciting emerging artists, the darlings who are simply going to take the art world by storm. It's the perfect place to lose yourself for an afternoon, surrounded by beauty and inspiration. And if you're lucky, you might even overhear some frightfully interesting conversations about the meaning of art. Just nod knowingly, and no one will ever suspect. If all that art gazing has left you peckish, let's hop over to Federal Hill, our little Italy. It's a whirlwind of vibrant colours, mouth-watering aromas, and enough charm to book a one-way ticket to Rome. Authentic Italian cuisine, the kind Nonna would be proud of, served with lively conversation and a cheeky glass of Chianti. And the bakeries. Oh, the bakeries! Rows of cannolis, sfogliatella, and other delicacies will have you loosening your belt. For an unforgettable dining experience, try Al Forno, known for exquisite pasta dishes and romantic ambience. No trip to Federal Hill is complete without visiting Cialo Brothers Bakery. Their legendary cannolis with a crispy shell and creamy ricotta filling will have you floating on cloud nine. Now friends, let's step back in time and take a leisurely stroll down Benefit Street, affectionately known as the Mile of History. This charming street is a veritable time capsule, lined with the most divine 18th and 19th century houses you've ever laid eyes on. As you wander along the cobblestone streets, you can practically hear the echoes of horse-drawn carriages and the whispers of Providence's fascinating past. Each house has a story to tell, from the grand mansions of wealthy merchants to the quaint homes of skilled artisans. And speaking of grand mansions, you simply must make a pit stop at the John Brown House Museum. It's an absolute gem, a beautifully preserved example of colonial grandeur. You'll feel like you've stepped right into a Jane Austen novel, surrounded by period furniture, intricate mouldings, and stories of the families who once called this place home. But the real magic of Benefit Street lies in its ability to transport you to another era. So, slip on your most comfortable walking shoes and prepare to be enchanted by the history and charm that awaits you on every corner. And if you happen to spot a handsome gentleman in a top hat, do say hello from me, won't you? Providence isn't just about historical houses and charming parks. It's absolutely throbbing with creativity. They don't call it the creative capital for nothing, you know. Honestly, you could practically trip over a gallery or a live performance on every corner. And the street art is simply divine. It's like the whole city is an open-air gallery. Speaking of galleries, you absolutely cannot miss AS220. It's positively buzzing with artistic energy, a real hive of creativity. They've got exhibitions that change faster than one can say ab fab. And if you're feeling a tad adventurous, pop into one of their creative workshops. Who knows, you might just discover a hidden talent for sculpting or interpretive dance. Now, my friends, if you're even slightly interested in architecture, you simply must visit the Rhode Island State House. It's an absolute marvel, and I'm not just saying that. The dome! It's one of the largest self-supporting marble domes in the world. Imagine all that marble. It's simply breathtaking. I wouldn't be surprised if they found Michelangelo himself hiding in the basement, chisel in hand. And the best part? They offer free guided tours. Yes, you heard me right, absolutely free. You can wander through the Senate chamber, the House of Representatives, and even get a peek at the iconic independent man statue perched atop the dome. Just try not to cause a scene like a diner would. We wouldn't want an international incident, would we? After all that sightseeing, you'll need a moment to catch your breath and soak in the atmosphere. And where better to do that than the Providence River Walk? It's absolutely charming, my dears, with the most delightful views of the city skyline. And the public art. Honestly, Providence just doesn't quit when it comes to art, does it? Now, no stroll along the Riverwalk is complete without a jaunt across the pedestrian bridge. It's quite iconic, you see, and connects downtown Providence to the oh-so-trendy Innovation and Design District. Who knows, you might even get some inspiration for your next interior design project, darling. Just picture it, a splash of colour here, a touch of modern art there. Simply fabulous. Now, after all that exploring, you must be simply famished. And, lucky for you, Providence is a veritable gourmand's getaway. Downtown is absolutely brimming with award-winning restaurants, each more divine than the last. We're talking Michelin star contenders, sweetie, not some greasy spoon with a questionable health inspection. Places like Gracie's, my friend, with its ever-so-inventive menu. It changes more often than my hairdresser. And Oberlin. Oh, Oberlin. They take local ingredients, you know, farm to table and all that, and whip them into the most extraordinary culinary creations. It's enough to make you want to book another weekend, just to work your way through the menus. And the wine lists. Don't even get me started on the wine lists. They're longer than a Stoppard play and twice as intoxicating. So put on your glad rags, darling, reserve a table, and prepare to have your taste buds thoroughly, absolutely, and utterly tantalized. Now, for a bit of intellectual stimulation. Let's pop over to College Hill, shall we? Home to the prestigious Brown University, it's simply steeped in history. Founded in 1764, can you imagine? It's older than America itself. And the architecture, those grand old buildings with their ivy-covered walls and those darling little turrets, simply dripping with charm. Be sure to stroll through the Van Wickle gates at the entrance. They say it's good luck. Although, darling, with my luck, I'd probably trip and land in a flower bed. And the college green. Oh, it's just divine. Picture yourself, darling, lounging on the grass, surrounded by all those clever students, debating philosophy and quoting Keats. You might even feel a smidgen more intelligent just by breathing the air. Just don't get caught trying to sneak into any lectures, sweetie. Unless, of course, it's something utterly fascinating, like the history of champagne cocktails. Then, by all means, drag me along. Well, my dears, it seems our little jaunt to Providence has come to an end. I do hope you've enjoyed yourselves. We've explored everything from fiery spectacles to culinary delights, with a dash of history and culture thrown in for good measure. Remember, my friends, Providence is a city best savoured slowly, like a perfectly chilled glass of Sauvignon Blanc on a summer afternoon. So put on your most fabulous walking shoes, book that trip, and discover the magic of this charming city for yourselves. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. After all, a girl's got to keep up with her viewers, hasn't she? Until next time, stay fabulous.